WeatherWords is a production of The Reporter, Delaware County's leading news source.
Good day to everyone, at least for the moment. It won't be that way in about another hour. In fact, if you were awake about 25 minutes ago and you looked over, you saw an old adage come true. Red sky in morning, sailor take warning. But it was beautiful out there. I mean, I don't have something to take a picture with, but I'll tell you, it could have made a postcard. It was absolutely gorgeous. But it also tells you something's going to happen. Okay, but let's go back and summarize from the last time I spoke to you, which was this past Monday. You know, we spoke to you at 33 degrees. And I said, hey, this is a great temperature to start with. It's above normal. But we only got to 35. I mean, a 2-degree temperature change during the day, but blame that on the clouds. Tuesday, the temperature had dropped down, and we started at 20. You know, that's about normal. And then about a half an hour later, I looked when I called it in, and it dropped to 15. I said, okay, now it's cold. But we got to 36. Both those temperatures are above normal. We should be 28 to 30, maybe a lucky 31. But we continue these above normal temperatures. The other thing you might have noticed, if you step out now when there's sunshine and you're in it, it suddenly feels so warm. Well, if you took one of my earth science classes, we talked about angle of insolation. In other words, the sun is higher now than it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that means it's delivering more energy as it's hitting you. You noticed that yesterday. I mean, again, we started out at about 32. But by afternoon, we got to 43. Okay, now we're looking at 13 degrees above normal. But if you stood in the sunshine, you could take off your sweatshirt. It was like, hey, this feels great. And it melted most of the ice and most of the snow. In fact, I can get up and down my driveway now in 2-wheel drive. And that's saying, hey, spring's coming. Well, maybe. It seems a little early, and I hope we don't get it early. I'll tell you why in a minute. But what's coming today is going to be a rainstorm that'll take up most of the day. There'll be a little break in the afternoon, and then it'll come back at nighttime. And it's all supposed to be rain. Unless it happens within about another hour, because it's still 26 degrees out here. And that's where I always say to everyone, you turn on the weather on TV, don't believe the temperatures. You know, they stick Walton on the map. But this morning, while I was at my brother's house, they said, oh, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Walton's going to be 36. Well, at 6 o'clock in the morning, we were 22. I mean, we're talking in some cases 10 or 12 degrees difference from what they're saying on TV. One of them said, at 8 o'clock, we'll be at 38. Well, it's not too far from now, 8 o'clock, and we're still sitting at 26. So what that really means, if this thing starts a little early, you're actually going to see a mix of stuff falling. But then it's going to turn to rain, and it's going to stay that way. They took the snow out of the forecast for Saturday, which is fine with me. It's going to be a partly sunny day, and maybe hit 30, maybe 31. And you say, oh, well, we're back to winter. No. Start Sunday, we put it back in the 40s. By midweek, like Wednesday, it could be 48, and it's going to rain again on Thursday. Here's that wishy-washy kind of winter I've been talking about. Believe it or not, yesterday afternoon I was standing in mud. Today it's frozen solid. Tomorrow I'll be standing in mud. I mean, it's just, who knows what you're going to step into anymore. But, like I said, there's no major snow in our forecast for a while. And again, it won't be till maybe later next week. And that means like maybe Friday, Saturday, after the rainstorm. Maybe it'll mix with something before it stops. So, this is our winter. Why do I not want an early spring? We had those years ago, and believe it or not, my peach trees bloomed the first week in March. And then we had 3 weeks in the teens that killed every single blossom of everything. You know what? Let spring come when it should for up here, which means let them start blooming sometime middle to late April, and we'll get some fruit. You might remember last year with that April 4th mess that we had, the trees did nothing. So let's hope for a good fruit year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, that's it for now. Just stay safe if we get the mix this morning, because it won't be. And you know what? It's starting to do something right now, and it's frozen. Oh, well, I told you. Have a good day.
To subscribe or advertise, call 607 464 4009.